everyone, my name is Lexi Kogas, and today we are going to be talking about fast pitch softball. So first, let's start off with the basics. For every softball game, there will be a home team and away team. This can be determined by either location or a coin flip. If you are playing at a field near you, you may be considered the home team, which means you will be in the field first. If you are playing at a field away from you and you traveled, you will be considered the away team, which means you're up to bat first. Sometimes, however, a coin flip may be used. Usually, the team's team captain or coach will come up near the batter's box and the umpire will flip a coin in the air. Whoever calls out the flip, and if they are correct, they will then determine whether they are the home team or the away team. If the person who calls it is incorrect, then the other team will determine if they're home or away. After this, the game will be started. Usually a softball game is 7 innings long, however, there are exceptions to that. If you are playing a game and a team is winning by 15 runs after 3 innings, then the game is over. If a team is up by 12 runs after 4 innings, then the game is over. And if a team is up by 8 runs after 3 innings, then the game is over. It is also important to know the basic matters about balls, strikes, and outs. If you are in the field, you need 3 outs before you're up to bat. If you're up to bat and get 3 outs, then you are in the field. If you're up to bat and there are 3 strikes, then you're out. You can have 2 types of strikeouts. One is strikeout swinging and the other is a strikeout looking. If you strike out swinging, it simply means you swung at the pitch, you missed it, and you're out. In the scoreboard or on the score card, it will be symbolized as a capital K. If you strike out looking, it means the umpire called it a strike and you didn't swing. On the scorecard, it is symbolized as a backwards capital K. If you are up to bat and the pitcher throws 4 balls, then you are what they called walked. It means you run to first base and now you are a base runner. It is also important as a batter to know what the strike zone is. Typically, it's from the left side of the plate to the right side of the plate, from your chest all the way to your knees. However, it's always very important as the batter to realize what the umpire's strike zones are because they may vary. Like I said, there is always a home team and away team, but there's also offense versus defense. If you're in offense, it means that you are hitting. If you're on defense, it means you're in the field. There are some important terms that are used in softball. If you're hitting and you hit the ball outside of the white line, then it is a foul ball. If you're up to bat and have 0 or 1 strikes, a foul ball counts as a strike. But if you're up to bat and have 2 strikes, then you will still have 2 strikes if you hit a foul ball. If you hit the ball on the ground, then it's called a ground ball. If you hit the ball in the air, it's called a pop-up. If you hit the ball over the fence, it is a home run. If there are runners on first, second, and third base, and you hit the ball over the fence, then it is called a grand slam. You can see in the left-hand picture on the bottom, the girl hit the home run and her team is celebrating. In the game, there also may be a designated hitter and a designated player. If you are a designated hitter, it means that you just hit and you don't play in the field for your team. However, if you are the designated player, it means you play in the field but you don't hit. If you are the pitcher for your team, you may have some different pitches, but the most common ones are fastballs and changeups. Your fastball for an average pitcher is usually between 50 to 60 miles per hour, and their changeup is usually 10 miles per hour slower than that. A pitcher may also decide to intentionally walk a girl that is up to bat, which means they just throw four balls in a row and the girl gets to go to first base. Typically, this is done because they don't want to face that hitter and they just want to give her the free base. As you can see in this picture, it is of all the positions and the coaches' boxes, the batters' boxes, and the on-deck circle. In the scorecard, your positions are determined by numbers. If you are the pitcher, it's a number 1. If you're the catcher, it's a 2. If you're a first baseman, the 3. Second baseman, 4. Third baseman, 5. Shortstop, 6. Left fielder, 7. Center fielder, 8. And right fielder, 9. Whenever your coach gives the scorecard to the umpire, this is what they use to say what position you play. As you can see on here, there are bases coach box. The first base coach can stand in that box and the third base coach can stand in their box. The coach has to be remaining in this box at all times. You can also see the batter's box in an on-deck circle. Sometimes this isn't on the field, but if you're on deck, which means you're the next person up, you can stand there and take some practice swings while the girl is up to bat. When you're in the field, there's just some basic things to remember. If there's nobody on base and you get the ball in the infield, then you're going to throw it to your first baseman. If there's no one on base and you get the ball to the outfield, typically you're going to throw it to second base. However, if there is someone on base, you may be throwing it to a different base to get the girls out. Lastly, we're going to talk about some gear that is needed when you play softball. First up, we have in the left-hand top a bat. Typically, softball bats are made out of composite. You obviously need this when you're the hitter along with your helmet. You wear your helmet to protect your head, and in case you get it, you have to wear this every time you go up to bat. You can see in the right-hand lower corner a picture of a glove. Depending on the position you play, you may have a different glove. There are first baseman gloves, catcher gloves, infield gloves, and outfield gloves. Typically, an infield glove is smaller than an outfield glove. That is because the smaller your glove is, the quicker it is to transfer the ball from the glove to your hand. In the left-hand lower corner, you can see some catching gear. Obviously, you are going to wear this when you catch. It's to protect yourself and make sure you get hurt. You don't get hurt. Some girls who are younger may wear face masks when they play in the field, and this is simply just to protect them from an injury and keep those at a minimal. Thank you for listening to my presentation, and I hope that you learned a lot about fast pitch softball.